My wife would never say that. I would imagine someone's having a talk with somebody. All right, Colin, you're married. Should Brady be bothered by Gisele's comment?
I don't know if bothered's the right word, but I always want to speak for myself. Everybody should, and especially in my career, because my career doesn't just affect me. I work with you. We have multiple, this show's got 30 people on it. Let's say Tom Brady was a corporation. Well, he kind of is.
Yeah.
But he was a corporation.
Right.
And she had said, what goes on at that corporation? Stock dives, 8,200 employees out of work. Tom Brady is not just a player. Like, Tom Brady now is a lot of things. There's clothing lines,
Right.
There's nutritional. So if you're talking about Tom being dishonest, that's not great for Tom, his brand, his products. He employs perhaps dozens or hundreds of people. He is sort of a mini corporation.
But she's not an average brand. I mean, she's not an average person or a housewife either. She's a brand.
Yes.
And she knows more about branding probably than Tom does because she's been doing it a lot longer as a high fashion model. And so I think she understands what she said publicly, and I'm sure they probably talked about that.
Would you be
that
bothered?
She could talk about it. If I talked about it with her first, no, I wouldn't. But if I didn't, yeah, I'd be bothered. No question about it, because you don't want to reveal anything because it's like a chink in your armor. You want to be invincible as a player, and you never want your organization to think you were ever hurt.
That's a really good point.
Especially
That's
as you get older.
really good point.
This is cut from the same cloth as, remember Steph Curry and his wife last year when she got upset at the officiating and went off and over Twitter. And it was like, hey.
Oh, this is different.
But see, I don't think she wasn't upset.
This is different.
Why is this different?
She went off on the refs doing everything.
Yeah.
This right here.
This is voluntary.
You talked about Tom Brady being, hundreds of things and all these different things and him being a corporation. Well, one thing that he is her husband. And this is just a wife talking about her concern for her husband. So should he be bothered by that? No. Should Steph have been bothered by his wife going off on the refs and all? Yes, that's different.
Yeah.
She's talking about the health of her husband. Now, from that aspect of it, he should not be bothered that his wife is just concerned. That's the issue.
But let me throw this at you, though. Yeah. This is not just a gender thing.
Right.
Derrick Rose's brother, Michael Vick's brother, have at times taken shots at people or opened up a narrative. And a lot of times, Derrick Rose or Michael Vick are left to explain what a family member did. That can be difficult.
Listen, again, the question is, should he be bothered? I'm probably on the no side because, again, when you say I do, that means you're saying I do to a lot of things that are going to bother.
I do have to deal with you saying how you feel about me when you're a model and people want to interview you.
Right. And so, but I'll just say this. Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, the NFL, they're probably bothered because this isn't a line of communication they want opened up where wives start talking about the health of their husbands that are players, because that's an uncontrolled, that's Genie's bottle you're opening up, and that can go anywhere.
But Warren mentioned something, too, that it's important. Gisele is richer than Tom.
Right.
She is more international than Tom. When you marry a strong woman who herself is a star, Beyonce, Jay-Z, they're going to be asked a million questions.
I'm not going to put money on it, because here's where I think she's operating from, and I've been saying it forever. She wants the dude to retire.
Well, I think so.
They've got
That's my
kids,
thought,
and she's sitting there saying, hey, man, you've got 5 Super Bowls, you're 40 years old, I get your ego gets off on this, but damn it, I want you here with me and the kids,
you think that's
able to function.
Yeah.
Which is why I say that this is just simply a product of her being concerned about her husband. I agree with you, and you, when you're saying she wants him to stop. Why risk the injury? And she's saying, I know for a fact that you've had these injuries, and it's an issue right now, but I don't think he's bothered by his wife having that concern, to answer the question.
And I know the Patriots aren't happy about this because of all the things that they've been involved in over the last couple of years. Now, this is more of maybe keeping injuries away from the league.
But it's interesting. Warren touched on this. He said, when you're a quarterback or any football player, it's really, there's an armor. Now I think, hey, he's had 7, 8, 9 concussions. Is that something?
Right.
I don't, because I think most people kind of assume it. I think that's not pervasive, but it's common around the league that guys are covering up concussions. Their wives know about it. It's a decision they've made within the home. We're going to take this risk, make this money, provide for our kids and our family in this way. Again, I go back to just the fundamental relationship between a man and a woman about a career and a job. And are we really going to move across the country for this job? That argument goes on and tears apart families all the time. This thing could escalate in terms of, like, if she wants this dude out of football.
She does.
And she keeps putting her foot down. He can talk about playing until he's 45 all he wants. He may have to do it without her. She's already won the Trump battle. You're not going to the White House. She won that battle and he didn't go. She'll win this battle. She's got more than half the money, and she's got all the Gisele. She's got most of the leverage.
It's ironic that this would come out 3 days after he says he wants to play until he's 45.
Well, and by the way, what's
know?
interesting is he says that. Is it not a coincidence that it comes out 3 days after?
No.
Exactly.
That's her press release.
Right, no, there's no question about it. Again, I know you two guys are married. You've been married.
Anymore,
yeah. Again, this is commonplace. This debate goes on in y'all's home. When you moved from Connecticut to Los Angeles, maybe everybody was on board, but there was some discussion.
My wife wants me to work till I'm 70, so that's the opposite.
Stay out of the house.
As long as you can talk, you won't get any concussions.